Hi YouTube. In this video, we will be backtesting TrendBot. What is backtesting and what is TrendBot? Backtesting is when you apply a strategy on historical data to see how it would have performed in the past. TrendBot is a dual momentum trading strategy that is used or designed to manage a portfolio of crypto assets or any type of asset. It uses absolute momentum. So if the coin is going up, then it will buy. Then it uses relative momentum to decide how much to buy. So it uses its relative momentum compared to its other assets in the portfolio to decide how much to add. Let's go to AlgoAgent.io, sign in. When you first sign in, you will see a page like this, then click TrendBot 2.0. At the bottom here, you can click different coins and the advanced settings are here. And here you can select the time frame that you want to backtest. 1 year, 4 years, we'll just do all. To start, we will just backtest with Bitcoin to see the behavior. And this does not look too great. During the bull market, it underperformed. It did, however, seem to perform good during the bear market, but it failed to capture to the upside. Part of this is by design because it is a portfolio strategy. So, for example, it was only in the market 24% of the time, which explains the lack of performance. The strategy is more picky on when it's in or out of the market because it's used to a whole landscape of coins to choose from rather than just one. Now we'll test that. We'll add some more coins. Let's add ETH and XRP. That's already looking better. During the bull market, it did significantly better with a peak of 19 times the return versus the Bitcoin about 10 times. Now let's repeat the process with more coins. Looking better. Zooming in on last bull market, we saw a peak of 65 times your money versus the averaging of the coins in the portfolio of 24 times your money. And that's compared to Bitcoin's 12 times your money. This is my favorite strategy, so I will favorite that. And when we go to the summary, that one will be favorited right here. All right, now we'll go a little bit further with this portfolio and we will try different rebalance periods. For example, we could try 2-hour rebalances and see how the strategy with that portfolio performs with those settings. And this is definitely not great. The returns without fees are insane, but it gets destroyed with the trading fees, with all that frequent trading and all of the noise that it captures. All right, now let's try the 6-hour rebalance period. This is definitely looking better when comparing it to the 1-day rebalance. It is fairly similar. When we compare in the summary, we can see the total returns are very similar. The returns before fees are not similar, but that does not matter too much because in real life, we get fees. The drawdowns are worse. The Sharpe ratio is much worse. So far, the 24-hour period beats the 6-hour. Let's try 8-hour now. Wow. Now we're getting somewhere. This drawdown is pretty bad, and that was recent. So to our brains, we have a recency bias, so this strategy would be tough. But as you can see in last bull market, it was insane. Over 100 times your money during that period. And that's compared to Bitcoin's weak little one down here. But again, the past year was not pretty, especially from the peak. All right, one more back test for the rebalance periods. We will change it to 12 hours. That is very similar to the last one. So we'll check the summary and compare them side by side. Let's compare these two right here, the 8-hour and the 12-hour rebalance interval. Final returns are similar, drawdown similar, Sharp ratio is better on the 12-hour one. The market exposure is similar for all three. Let's just go with the 12-hour for the last period here. So we'll go back, keep this at the 12-hour. And what I would like to do now is do a robustness test with a data offset. So right now, the strategy will run on data at 0 UTC and 12 UTC for this 12-hour rebalance. But if we change it to a 6-hour offset, then it would run the rebalances at 6 UTC and 18 UTC. This gives it different data, slightly different data to run on. So if we ran this back test and it loses against the average, then that is a red flag for sure. Okay, it still looks good. This is great to see. I will favorite the 12-hour. And I'll do one more test here with the data offset. I will just change it to 9 UTC. All right, and it still looks very, very good. Again, zooming in on the last year, it is not exactly easy to be in this drawdown. We're in about a 40% drawdown. If we go to the percent change and go to the peak, yeah, we're in about a 40 and down to a 50% drawdown. So we got to be prepared for these types of drawdowns with this strategy. And I can tell you firsthand, running this strategy live, unfortunately, we are in a drawdown like this. It is uncomfortable, I understand, but we're running this strategy for an altcoin season, as we could see how it performs. During that period, it gave a 70x return. During this offset, also very similar. And during this offset, even more substantial at about 110 times your money during this period. I'll even change it to, and that didn't even really take off until January 2021. This might seem crazy, but we did experience this back in 2021. This is a chart from 2020 to the end of 2021 of one of my clients running TrendBot, and they made over 100 times their money. With these strategies, you got to have a very tough mindset. Be comfortable with long periods of big drawdowns. Even during that period, it was a pretty tough drawdown. And then out of nowhere, it shoots up. We did experience that with this strategy going live. And then a drawdown. And after you do these back tests, after you go to AlgoAgent.io, you can just click Trade Live. And that will apply this strategy directly to your Binance account. Then you can click Manual Rebalance or have the Auto Rebalance on. And it will automatically trade this strategy on your Binance account with all these settings. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to use AlgoAgent to backtest TrendBot.